Alright, so we're starting up the trade recap. We're gonna go over this first trade here that we took on NQ. Well, this is the only trade we took recently, but we lost on the Alpha Futures account, which is weird because here we bet at least 2 contracts, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. So I think I put 2 contracts. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so we can't. It's not gonna let us here. Hold on. Alright, so we went to a blown account, but who cares? So we put 2 contracts. You can see 1,400 and 1,500 basically was the risk we were putting on for the Alpha Futures account. Even if we had it at this low, that's 1,280, and then the maximum loss limit was $1,000. So we should have seen that this right here was the maximum loss limit, and we're basically gonna get, the account gone, which I think did happen. But let's see where we get rid of that. Let's go back over here. If we simply used 1 contract, that would have been the trade idea. And of course, we could have aimed for more. We could have just let it run. That would have been 745 right there. We won as a take profit, which is still good. Still that's close to 1%, near 2%. But I was being a little greedy. I won't lie. I was aiming for more. But like I said here, Alpha Futures did stop me out for no reason. We were nowhere near the stop loss, which is sad because it was due to spread while the Top Step account hit. So the main reason why, again, was because, again, we were risking way too much. It's not because of the spread or anything like that. I was lying. I knew I was risking too much. I knew I put way too much risk on the table, but I was willing to do that here. So I was being greedy, honestly. I didn't expect us to go in that much drawdown, and eventually we did. After we formed the inversion, I should have just waited for the SIBI. And that would have been a lot better, honestly. We wouldn't have been so deep into drawdown. But yeah, we were just aiming for a 1R. As soon as I just did this. Look, when I saw the inversion, I did this, and I moved it right here, and that was it. I didn't even have a stop loss area or anything like that. I was like, all right, let's put the risk reward ratio and let's take the trade like that, and that's what I basically did. You see the trade idea did play out in our favor for more than 1R. Let's see what the max RR would have been here. So it would have been around 6, close to 6.21. That would have been the max R. The ideal R would have been 1 to 3, aiming for that external high up there. And again, I was trading in McDonald's. So I know it sounds really. I was at work at 5 a.m. Yeah, it's the grind, it's the hustle, man. It's what it takes to be great. And I was willing to do it, bro. I went to McDonald's at 8:30. I finished everything I could for my early shift, my opening shift, and I told my boss, is it cool if I go take a lunch? And it was around 8:45. They're like, yeah, you can go take a lunch. And I was like, all right, cool. And I went, and I basically went and took my lunch, and I ran to my car, got my backpack, went to McDonald's because it's nearby where I work, and I got on the free Wi-Fi, bro. Got on the free Wi-Fi, ordered me a little McGriddle, ordered me a little McGriddle, and then a little frappe, and I just instantly locked in. Got onto charting, and I found this trade idea here play out. So the trade idea would have played out for ES also, but we missed it. So ES, we missed the trade idea here. This would have been the first trade idea. I missed it off of this inversion right here. Boom, retracement. This would have probably passed us not passed us, but it would have kept the Alpha Futures account. We wouldn't have hit drawdown if we traded this one instead of NQ. And even to the retracement, to the inversion, this little retracement, that would have probably kept the account also. But yeah, this was the first trade idea. We missed it, and then eventually we were chasing price, which is totally normal. You can see this fair value gap. The same one on NQ did hold, while ES really, it kind of did, but it didn't, and then eventually pushed up higher, and it just went up to the higher prices. But Dow Jones was the strongest one, so I was watching that. That was very important to me, was the SMT here. So the SMTs here were lining up perfectly. You can see the Dow was just never weak throughout the day. You can see everybody else just started manipulating, or NQ started manipulating. These all started manipulating, and there was no SMT here at these lows. You can see Dow Jones was just forming higher highs. These were forming lower lows, or higher lows then lower lows. The market just started to continue to expand up higher, and this is where my trade idea was for NQ. You can see ES also broke above the high, formed the breaker, and continued to the upside after sweeping out sell side liquidity from the higher time frame, or this is the wrong one, honestly. No, we ran into a 4-hour PDA race. So let's go on the higher time frame actually. Let's show you guys what I'm looking at here. But first, let's go over the accounts. I know y'all are fiending for that, bro. Cause I'd be fiending for it too. So this is the first account, the 50K combine. You can see here, this is we're up 950 on this month. We're just around 1%. So we're at where the Alpha Futures account was basically. So we made progress on the other one, and then we made no progress, and we lost progress on one account. So it's just like back and forth. I don't know if it's blown. It says I still have the account, but yeah, it's unfortunate. I wish I just would have let the trade play out and not stop me out, but like let me just lose the account. Let me blow the account if I'm wrong, you know. Like, you, instead of stopping me out and like letting me keep the account, why don't you just let me blow it if I'm wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. But yeah, that's pretty much really it. You can see we're down 1,241. Trade automatically stopped itself, and that's unfortunate, honestly. I don't know if I have it still. So yeah, it says in progress. All this says in progress, and every time I refresh, it still says in progress. So I don't think it's completely cooked, because we're still allowed to like see the progress and trade it, I guess. And yeah, I'm not really against it or anything like that if we keep it. But yeah, right now the Top Step account is doing really well. We're up again 592, and it's not bad, honestly. You know, like, we had a big win, clear, you know, profit factors higher than the losses, of course. And yeah, we just need to lock in, honestly. Take not one trade a day, yeah, basically take one trade a day, not really, you know, do too much. But yeah, that was pretty much the trade. So let's go to the higher time frame, because I know y'all are gonna be looking for the analysis, but this computer's so cooked. Oh, let's go over the film. I did record also, so let's go over that. Let's see how this thing's probably not gonna hold up, man. It's like, whoa, it's getting cooked up. So here was the film right here, bro. Let's go over this real quick. I'm not gonna edit this, I'm just gonna upload it too. Dang, this thing looks shabby. It looks shabby. Alright, so this was the trade idea right here. You can see we're entering right here off of the inversion. That was the trade idea. I know you can't see it because my panel, or I'm not logged into Top Step, or you see the Top Step actually. Let's skip this to this right here. Break even at that high. I'm at work, so this is trade is scuffed. So yeah, the trade was scuffed. I was at McDonald's. I wasn't at work. I was on my lunch break, and then this doesn't look so well. Might take an L here, and we'll go over it later. Yeah. So I thought I was gonna take an L. I was accepting the risk, honestly. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm cool with that. And I didn't see it until later on, where I noticed Alpha Futures. That's when I got on Top Step. I was like refreshing. I was like, all right, yeah. So then I realized right there. I checked my phone. I was like, oh shit, you know, like, I'm in too deep, bruh. Went, logged in, all that, and then eventually I'm in. Boom. I buy 3 contracts. I aim for 1,500. I was like, wait, hold on, why is this so low, bro? I was like, wait, why is the, you know, like the profit objective so low? I could have aimed for, honestly, for more, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna just call it a day there. I'm not really aiming for much, and the stop loss placement wasn't ideal. That, you know, it was, again, risking way too much. I didn't know how to calculate the risk on the Top Step one, so I just aimed for 3 contracts. On this one though, I should have known, like, we were just aiming for 2, since on Alpha Futures we aimed for 2. So yeah, and then I realized we got stopped out right there. Stopped me out for no reason. We were nowhere near the stop loss, and that was basically really it. The trade idea hit right as soon as I got out. Right here, just hit, boom, went up there, boom, profit target hit, 1,500, boom. Again, I'm not trying to go over 1,500. I'm not trying to have that, you know, little issue where if you make too much, you're gonna have to make more, and I don't want that. So yeah, that's basically really it. That's the film. But let's go over this trade idea real quick on NQ, and then I'm gonna just end this video here, because I know this camera isn't the best. I need to go journal also, so that's another thing. Yeah, so I just got home. So on the 4-hour, we had a 4-hour Cibi. It was 10 o'clock right here. You can see we're trading this. There's no CRT. This is your buy side objective on the daily. Again, we're really bullish, breaking highs, continuing to the upside. This was another 4-hour buy side imbalance, which I had marked out, but then I eventually marked out this one since we didn't want it to get inversed On the 1 hour time frame, we had our 1 hour external objectives. We did sweep the 1 hour external high. We did have a breakout market structure showing what a clear indication to move up higher for higher prices. We did also have a CRT forming, the advanced one, of course. And then on the 30-minute time frame, you can see we did have another CRT forming. We had also had a buy, set, and balance down here with the breakout market structure overlapping on the 15-minute time frame. Let's go to the 15. This was again my CRT aligning with everything aligned perfectly. The 15-minute CRT, this is that advanced CRT here. We did wait for the low to get swept, and then on the 5-minute time frame, you can see here we did have that change in state of delivery once we did close above, and we just instantly pushed up higher. We disrespected this inversion and this bearish order block right there, and we just continued to the upside. On the 1-minute time frame here, we had a clear 1-minute breaker market structure lower, but eventually became a sweep. We had a 15-minute CRT forming. Again, why is ES better? Because again, it wasn't so like shallow. It was a little sweep and then it started to reverse higher. That's why ES was better, showing stronger indication. This one went way too deep into it, and ES was just like right here was a low. We swept it and then we pushed up. Clear sweep, a clean sweep too. And then eventually we had an inversion for rally up. We also had a bullish breaker. You could use the standard deviations, target higher prices. I would have aimed for higher prices if I wasn't on an evaluation. If I was on an express account, bro, I would have been holding this trade. Especially with micros, I would have scaled 2 out or moved my stop loss to break even, scaled a couple right here, eventually scaled more right here, and then eventually let the runners run like 2 and then 2, and then let 1 eventually when I let the trade run, show my stop right here, stop right here, stop right here, stop right here, and then just let it run, bro, and eventually get stopped out in profit. So that was pretty much really the trade idea. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna go journal, review, analyze. Hopefully we find something tomorrow. Now we're up on the account on Top Step. If we do manage to get around 4% on the account, which is around 2K, I'll buy another 2, or maybe by next week I'll buy another 2 accounts on Top Step and start copy trading and try to get funded really soon. Again, I'm back testing and reviewing. I'm journaling every single day. I'm reprogramming my mind, and we're climbing it. We're climbing to the highest level possible. So yeah, that's pretty much really it. The grind don't stop, baby. We're hot right now. I'm gonna keep going, and I want to be consistent. Again, the flame is burning. Like, there's something inside of me that just wants to achieve something this year, and I really want to prove it to myself. So we're gonna keep going. We can't get comfortable. We cannot get comfortable. That's one thing that will kill our drive and our necessity to be successful is comfort. After you win, after you have a big winning day like this, you cannot afford to get comfortable, bro. You cannot afford to even think you have accomplished anything. You have to humble yourself, and you got to just continue to put your head down and work no matter what. So yeah.